Hey everybody, Rick here from Save vs. BS. Now, let me move my Chick-fil-A cup off to the side. Very rude of me to have a drink of that amazing lemonade in front of everybody. So I would write these tight scripts. I would shoot the video 7 times. I would edit it so tight to get as much information into 5 to 7 minutes as possible. And I've met with some criticism. Other times when I post a video that's kind of freestyle with just a few talking points and I kind of ramble, I end up having to cut the video back together again and again. I meet with criticism. Now, listen, I'm this cushy, I can take a blow. That's okay, it bounces off. I have to do what works for me. And so I write a script, I do all the things, and some people love it, some people hate it, and I'm just, listen, reverting back to the very beginning, I'm doing what I like to do. I'm talking about the subjects that I like to talk about. And if that doesn't interest you, there's millions of other channels that you can watch. I mean, there's all kinds of knitting and crochet videos. There's all kinds of bromance videos where, you know, anyway, I'll edit that part out. So basically this video is my Shadowdark update. I am a recent Shadowdark convert. And now that Deathbringer has, you know, formally announced its partnership with Shadowdark, I'm all in. I've been living in this book lately. I mean, really digging through it, and I love it. I love it. I love the rhythm, I love the flow, but nothing's perfect, right? I mean, really, nothing's perfect. This video is not a review. What this is for me personally is, it's just me being honest about a few things that don't quite land for me, if that makes sense. So, spoiler alert, the list is very short. The death timer. Now, I grew up in the 0 HP equals death era, okay? And I know a lot of you did too. You didn't make a death save, you didn't have a death timer, you were just gone, and it was a graveyard full of first level nobodies, okay? But Shadowdark adds a little mercy. And I'm not opposed to a little mercy. You hit 0, you roll 1d4, you add your Constitution modifier, you have that many rounds before you're dead, during which time one of your allies or even an NPC could come up and roll a DC 15 intelligence check. Oh, I got a 16, no BS, for real. And that stabilizes you. Now, the good thing about that is that the player who is saving you, it costs them their action to stabilize you. So no need to panic. You have 5 chances to be stabilized. Now, what's happening to that player while he's trying to stabilize you? That's the question. You know, he's gonna keep getting pounded on by the bad guys. I like the tension it creates. It's like, does your ally save you or does he save himself? You see what I'm saying? So it does add a lot of tension to the table. We are just starting to use this last session, which nobody died, so I have to play a few sessions and get a few potential deaths to really have a verdict on that. I know my players are gonna like the idea of not dying as often. So, and you know, the game's all about the players, but I don't feel like it takes away a lot of the power of the GM to set things the way they should be. So once we've had some actual corpses hit the floor, I'll circle back in a future video about this subject. Now, this one might get me in trouble. Kelsey, if you see this, first of all, I really made it because Kelsey Dion's watching my videos, but really, if you've seen this, I respect you. You have made a hell of a product. I'm proud to own this product. I'm a Western Reaches supporter, backer. This is beautiful, and you made this thing. I mean, this is a beautiful thing. I can't stand the shared XP equally approach. When I was young, that would have been considered a participation trophy. At my table, I use XP as a message, as a tool, as I send a message to the players. It says, do more of this. Solve problems, take risks, and be clever. If you're zoning out, scrolling on your phone, just showing up for pizza and snack, you'll still have fun, but you're not gonna level up as fast. You're just not. And that's not punishment. That's me giving the player feedback. Players who engage, players who explore, players who play the damn game, they grow. Handing out XP simply for existing, that's like giving your dog a treat after he pisses on the floor. What are we training these people to do? So it's a positive reinforcement for positive actions. Does it make sense? Anybody? Yeah, I said it. If you're in one of my campaigns and you're wondering why you're not leveling, it's not the math. This could fairly be its own video. And it probably will be, but here's the short take. Shadowdark fixes what modern D&D keeps breaking. Back in the day, your imagination was your toolkit. You didn't need a feat or a subclass to justify some action. You just said it out loud and the dungeon master made a ruling. That simple. The 5th edition players are conditioned that if it's not in the book, it's not real, and it can't happen. The players also believe, however, that if it's in the book and it's published, the dungeon master has no authority, and he, by the power of Greyhawk, he must adhere to whatever supplement you're gonna use as evidence that your thing you wanna do is allowed. Now, Shadowdark lands right in the sweet spot for this. You get clean, functional player options, but the spirit of the game still lives in rulings, not rules. One thing I didn't know was how much of a thriving ecosystem Shadowdark has. So after seeing a video from Dungeons Dyslexia, there's tons of supplements that I didn't even know about. And I knew about some of these, but there was some stuff I spent, is my wife around? I spent like 110 on thru, and then I did about 110 on Bob World Builder's Kickstarter. That's already over, but they're still taking late pledges. So I got in on all that stuff. This is stuff I didn't even know about. So first thing is, if you don't know Dungeons and Dyslexia, go to that channel and subscribe right now, all referees and game masters. If you're a player, maybe not. He does get into some pretty in-depth topics that maybe players would not want to watch to ruin the game for themselves. But here's the thing. There is a growing stack of Shadowdark supplements. And the beauty of the whole thing is they are all bolt-on. It's like a car manufacturer who uses the same chassis to make a different model. And I'm not gonna get into the specifics, this is not that kind of video. Google it. Next time you're having personal time, with the door shut, Google car manufacturers using the same frames or cars that use the same frame. It's really surprising how many it is. But here, like I said, the main beauty of the whole thing is that the community has not been conditioned by the publisher to say that if the book exists, you must allow it. Right? Are you with me? So here's a great, this one, Unnatural Selection. Got this in a while back. There's some new classes in here. As the game master referee, I say DM, as the DM, I don't have to honor this. It's my call. And there's not a culture that says, well, it's in the book, you have to do it. It's not true. So it's still a very GM-centric game. A quick note, this could also be its own video, is people love to say that Shadowdark can't handle long campaigns. Well, tonight is my game session here in about an hour and a half. It's Monday, the 27th is when I'm filming this. This game has been running since April. That's nonsense. Ridiculous. A campaign isn't defined by how long you live. It is really defined by how long your table stays engaged. I got a whole video coming about that topic, so I'm not going to get into too much of that now. At a cursory level glance, if you don't think Shadowdark can sustain a campaign long term, you're telling us more about you than you are about us. Does that make sense? The short of it is, this is definitely not perfect, but it's damn close. If you are a game master referee who's running Shadowdark, go subscribe to Dungeons and Dyslexia. He's super awesome dude. We have different hours. He's on the other side of the planet from me, so I'm sleeping, he's posting videos and then commenting on mine while I'm sleeping and commenting. He's a great guy. Drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about the shared XP. I can't be the only one who feels like that's a sham. Aside from that, do you have another sticking point that just doesn't set right with you about this system? I'm not here to tell you what to think or how to think. I'm here to have a dialogue so we can all improve the way we all think. Are you with me? Drop a comment. Tell me what your favorite pizza toppings are. I own a pizza shop. I always need recipes. So if you got some crazy combo I didn't think of, there just might be free stuff involved for you. My name is Rick. This is Save versus BS. Like, subscribe, do all the things.